welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be a review on some jewellery from a brand called Filippo Loreti. They were kind enough to send me 2 pieces from their collection, so this video has been marked ad because these pieces have been gifted to me. However, I'm not being paid for this video. This is a completely honest review. There's nothing that I have to tell you about the jewellery. The only reason this video has been marked ad is because I've been gifted these items for free, and the new guidelines in New Zealand say that if you've been gifted an item, you have to mark it ad. So with that being said, here comes a very honest review of Filippo Loreti. Filippo Loreti started specifically as a watch brand, and I believe specifically for men. I am not reviewing their watches at all. They have recently, I believe, made a jewellery line for women. I think they started this in 2019, so it's not like super recent, but it's way more recent than their watches. And they specifically asked me to pick some pieces from their women's jewellery collection to review those. So for today's video, I'm going to be showing you 1 necklace from them and 1 bracelet. They've also created a discount code for you guys, so if you are interested in purchasing anything off the website, then feel free to use my code. It is Bronwyn15, but I'll also have it in the description box. But let's start with the packaging, because that is the first thing you see. So each piece came in this nice little white box. The boxes look pretty similar, but they're not exactly the same. So they are both white, they're both approximately the same size. They both say Filippo Loreti on the front, but this one is in black, and this one is in gold. And then the material of the boxes is slightly different as well. I think they are both cardboard, but this one here is a smooth, flat cardboard, whereas this one is textured, almost feels like material. So I'm not sure what the significance of the 2 different boxes is, but I did receive 1 of each. So once I took the lids off, this is what I saw on the inside. So the necklace, obviously you can see sitting there on a little black card, and the bracelet in the other box is actually within another little bag that is in the box. Let's start with the necklace though. So it has this little pull tab that makes it really easy to get out. So on the card there are these 3 little bits of black elastic that you can hardly even see. There's one here and then one up in each corner that holds the necklace in place, and then if you turn it around, the rest of it is just kind of loose and was sitting in the box just like that before. I think the elastics are a really simple way of presenting the piece nicely when you first open the box. So this piece is called the Kindness Gold Necklace, and it usually costs 99 New Zealand dollars, although it's currently 30% off in the New Year's sale, so it's currently $69 on the website. Remember that my pricing is New Zealand dollars, so if you're not in New Zealand, you might need to convert that to find out how much that is for you. The necklace itself is made from stainless steel, and it has a PVD coating. Now I looked up PVD coating because I had never heard of it before, and the internet told me that it has a higher resistance to wear, which is great, and it's more durable than traditional gold plating, so also good. Means it's going to wear really well and not get damaged very easily. But I also discovered it's a method of coating. It's not the actual coating itself. It's just a way of spraying the coating onto a piece of jewellery. It doesn't actually tell you what the material is that was sprayed onto it. So the actual material around the outside of this necklace was not stated on the website, so I don't know what it is. Could be gold, could be anything. As for the actual look of the necklace, on the end, the pendant here is a circle, but it's like a textured finish on it, so it's not flat and smooth, but it has like a bumpy feel to it. And then the chain that it's on kind of alternates between little circles and little rectangles. One thing I do really like about this necklace is that the pendant is not movable, so it's not gonna like turn around as you're wearing it, and then you end up with the clip showing like down around your neck, which is never a good look. The clip itself is quite thick, in keeping with the look of the rest of the necklace, and it's just a regular type of clasp, and you could clasp this anywhere along the necklace. It doesn't have to go on the end part here. So if you found that the necklace was too long, you could just clip it somewhere else. If you did do that though, it would just mean that the buckle would not be quite at the back of your neck, because the pendant has to stay in the middle. So it would just mean that instead of clasping right behind your neck, it might clasp like over here. So I'm going to pop it on and you can see what it looks like on me. So this is what it looks like at its full length. So I've just clipped it at the very last hook where it's supposed to clip. I have to admit, when I first put this on, when it arrived, it was a bit bigger than I expected it to be. And by that I just mean like a bit chunkier. I'm a big fan of really small, dainty jewellery. and this is just a bit chunkier than what I'm used to. But I think this is something that's very on trend at the moment. There's a lot of people rocking exactly this type of jewelry, and I think it looks great on so many other people. And I think even on me, it looks good with the right outfit. I think plain black makes it stand out and look like my statement piece, which I think works really well. I think I had it on with quite a busy outfit when I first tried it on, which didn't work for me. But yeah, I can totally see myself wearing this with quite a plain outfit like the dress that I have on. I think it looks great with this. For me, definitely more of a statement piece, but depending on your jewelry style, it might be something that you're happy to layer with a bunch of other necklaces. Just for the sake of it, I'm going to shorten it a little bit and show you how that looks too. Okay, so I've just shortened it a little bit. As you can see, there's just a little bit of the chain hanging back there. Depending on the look you're going for, it is definitely quite an easy piece to adjust to the size that you want. Obviously you can't make it longer, but you can make it shorter. So if you have a smaller neck or you want more of a choker style, very easy to do. The clip is super easy to use, I think just because it's quite big. I may as well leave it on while I'm talking to you about the bracelet. So as I mentioned before, the bracelet comes in a little bag which also says Filippo Loreti on the front. So this is the bracelet. It is called the Eva bracelet. It is also gold, and this one is quite a bit daintier than the necklace. This one is exactly what I was expecting when I chose it on the website. Exactly the right size, the exact amount of daintiness, I guess, if that's a word, that I was expecting. So this bracelet is usually $109, but at the moment also 30% off, so it is currently $79. So a little more expensive than the necklace, but I think that is down to the materials used, and that is sterling silver for the bracelet itself with a 14K gold layer. So if we are to believe what I read on the internet about the PVC coating being more durable than regular gold coating, then in theory the bracelet's not going to hold up as well as the necklace, but it's more expensive. So I don't really understand how that works, but I do know that in terms of my own personal style, the bracelet is something that I prefer over the necklace. So if we have a good look at this bracelet, we can see that it's almost like a mini version of the necklace that I showed you just before, in that it alternates between little oval hoops and much smaller circle hoops that join them together. But obviously the hoops are much smaller, much thinner, and just much daintier. The clasp is just a regular clasp again, and then there are some extra hooks down the end here so that if you needed to make it a little bigger, you could. But at the same time, and this is always something I look for because I have teeny tiny wrists, you can hook the clasp through any of these. So if you needed to make it smaller because you have very small wrists, you could also do that. So I shall pop it on and show you what it looks like on. I find bracelets really hard to get on myself because of the whole one-handed thing. This is the bracelet on. I absolutely love how dainty it is just sitting there on my wrist. And I love that I can adjust it to the actual size of my wrist. I think this is a really, really beautiful piece and very much my style. So on the website, I discovered that Filippo Loreti's brand mission, I guess you could call it, is like luxury pieces at affordable prices. This I found specifically on like the watch section of their website, but I imagine that it applies to all of their pieces and not just their watches. I'm kind of in two minds about this statement. On one hand, it worries me a little bit because if you're going to say luxury pieces at affordable prices, it makes me wonder who is missing out on the paycheck that they are supposed to have. On the website it says that they've done this by cutting out the middleman and working directly with the manufacturers. However, there's not a lot of information on the subject, so I'm not going to vouch for it at all. But it does concern me a little bit because it just makes me wonder if everything is being done ethically. On the other hand, I mean, luxury pieces at affordable prices sounds like a great thing as well. If everything is being done ethically and it's just a matter of not overcharging for something that doesn't need to be as expensive as it is, then it's brilliant. I guess the question is, are these luxury pieces? Do they look like luxury pieces? And I will leave that up to you to decide, because I think that means something different to everyone. Because to me, the bracelet is more my style, so I'm much more inclined to say that the bracelet is a luxury piece, whereas the necklace not being my style, I wouldn't say that this is a luxury piece, but to somebody else, it might look like a luxury piece because it might be your style. So I think that is a question that we each need to answer individually, as is the question of whether or not it is worth the money. I think that is something very personal that is not going to work from one person to the next. So I'm hoping that by showing you these pieces and letting you know how much they cost, you will be able to make your own decision about whether or not they are worth your money. I do have a little more that I want to say about my involvement with the brand. However, I think the jewellery part of this video is complete. So if you were here just to hear about the jewellery itself and what I think about it, then thank you so much for watching. Feel free to click off the video, go watch something else, but if you do want to hear my thoughts on my interactions with the brand, then stay tuned. So I was initially approached by Filippo Loreti and asked to choose a couple of pieces to review in a video, and before I agreed to anything, before I chose the pieces, I asked them, do you have any specific requirements for the video? And they said no, all good, go ahead, make your review video, do whatever you want. So the only thing that I had agreed to was to make a review video in exchange for 2 jewellery items. So I chose my items, they sent them, they arrived, and then I received an email from a different person at Filippo Loreti asking if I had received the jewellery and giving me all of these guidelines of what I now had to do. They were asking for Instagram posts, Insta stories posts, and they had attached their guidelines about how to shoot photos, what could be in the photos, what couldn't be in the photos, what hashtags I could use and couldn't use, and lots of very specific requirements. And my immediate reaction was, I asked if there were any specific requirements and you said no. So I emailed them back and I basically said no. I was like, I didn't agree to any of this. I agreed to one YouTube video. I know it was a different person, so I kind of spelled it out for them and said I had previously asked if there were any requirements and had been told no. And her response to this was, so sorry, we've sent you the wrong thing. Yes, you're just required to do a YouTube video. But then at the bottom, she had still attached those same guidelines about all of the photo taking and what could be in it and couldn't be in it and all of that stuff. And I'm like, you said no requirements. Get this out of my email. Anyway, I didn't respond to that one. And then a couple of days later, I got another email asking me what I thought of the watch I had received. And I'm like, what is going on in your company? I didn't ask for a watch. I was never offered a watch. I was specifically asked to do the women's jewellery line. They have a whole separate section for watches, and I was not asked to be involved in that at all. That's the end of the story. It's not a huge scandal, but I just thought I would mention it because it just was a bit of a mess. But anyway, that is the entire tea from me on Filippo Loreti. Thank you so much for watching today's video. Do let me know if you're going to check out their website or pick up any pieces from them. Don't forget to use my discount code if you are going to be purchasing anything. And that wraps up today's video, so thank you for watching and I will see you again next time. Bye!